Ladies tomorrow.
Rerun on Me TV.
We'll refer him to the city attorney.
A little static electricity in here, Mayor, so you better get a humidifier in here.
Thanks, Mike. Call the city of Hawarden, Iowa to
Static
order
electricity bothering it?
Wednesday, September 27th, 2017 at now 5:34 p.m. Missing two council members, Monty and Tim, are gone today. Monty's here. Excuse me, we'll wait.
Skype.
Hi, Monty.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, no problem. Just got started.
I'm just trying to get it done.
First agenda item tonight is 1A, approval of the September 13th, 2017 City Council meeting minutes. You've had those in your packet.
So move.
There's a motion by John. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Payne. Other questions or clarifications? Hearing none, then all in favor of the approval of the September 13th City Council meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes 4-0. At this time, we have claims for payment. John, do you have questions on claims?
No questions, thanks.
Payne?
None, thank you.
Okay, Travis?
None, thanks.
Monty?
So moved.
No. Motion by Monty for claims for payment. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Travis. All in favor then of claims for payment for today, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That again passes 4-0. Anyone open business from the community? Seeing none, we'll move then to the mayor's report. Thanks for those folks that have taken out papers to be on the ballots, both for the City Council and also for the Hawarden Regional Healthcare Hospital Board. Tom will talk a little bit more about the citywide cleanup again coming up. Just a reminder, it's for citizens only, so we hope to keep it pretty orderly there. And we had a nice visit from the West Sioux third graders a number of weeks ago. They were very polite and pleasant. They came here and studying about City Council and how all of that works. So they ventured over, and that was very nice of them. We have some great thank yous from them. So if you wish to see those, they'll be at the front office at the city offices for the next week or so. Anything from the council this evening?
Where are we with finding a new city administrator?
We have gathered all of the, gathered all 20, what are there, 27 types of applicants for that. And John and Travis and I are going to kind of try to narrow that down tonight and present them to the city council, and then start to set a time for, what do I want to say? Background checks. Following that, hope to do interviews probably the middle of October.
So the timeline for being done is,
Still right on the timeline, so hopefully have someone in by November, we hope. So we'll be kind of looking back to how questions were completed with Gary when he was hired at that time, and who was involved. I believe, from what I've read, all the city council members were invited to be involved in the questions at the interview process. So that'll be the same again this year, I'm sure. So we've had some applicants from close and far away. So other thoughts or questions from council? Thank you. Hearing none, we'll move to staff reports. Pam, anything from financials over there?
Nope,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you. Tom?
Just that we have citywide cleanup this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Hopefully the weather will be good.
Well, the weather good, and we'll get our dumpsters out a little quicker this time, so.
Great. Gary?
Two things. I'd just like to thank Pam Banner for the work she's done in supporting the city of Hawarden, Hawarden community. She retires from Independent on Friday. Friday's her last day. And also to let you know that we did hire Jeff Nahawa as the new ambulance director, and he starts October 1. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Mike?
Nothing.
Okay. Jim, anything?
Nothing.
Okay. Move on then to other agenda items. Hospital update. Jason Pullman, please.
Thanks a lot. I always say that we're almost done, but we're getting real close. And so most of the contractors are done with their work. This Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, they're going to be sealing the concrete up in the parking lot and all the concrete in the area. And then they're going to come out and stripe it and put on the paint that needs to be on that. And so that's about one of the last things we have to do to complete the project. So we're doing some landscaping yet around the area to make it look better for the areas that didn't get touched. And then inside the lower unit, we're looking at painting and putting new floor covering in, so it looks like it's been remodeled to a certain extent. So that's going well. Now we installed our 3D mammal. And that's we're doing applications on the 24th and 25th of October, and so after that it'll be operational to start screening patients. We're going to be screening mammos on Tuesdays and Thursdays every week, and so that's a real great addition to our service line. And the other thing is we are switching our radiology provider from Sanford over to AMI, which is out of Nebraska, and the main reason for that is Sanford or Vera or Mercy can't provide us a radiologist on site, and actually this group covers for Mercy now, so we'll be switching that, and eventually after the first of the year we're going to start trying to bill for the professional fees of that. It gets confusing for patients. They come in and they get an x-ray, and then they get a bill from Hawarden, and then they get a bill from the radiologist. And so we're going to try to be able to get one bill for a test, and that's the only bill they're going to get. And so that'll hopefully clear up some confusion for people and make it more streamlined for them. So that's what's happening.
Good. Any questions for Jason tonight? Great. Thanks again. Appreciate the updates.
Yeah, and probably next time I should be able to provide a audit report on the finances for the project, and not the project, but the hospital. So I'll probably bring some slides next time. So
Good. That'd be helpful.
yep, thanks a lot.
Agenda item number 4, Resolution 2017-18, approving the fiscal year 17 City of Hayward Street Finance Report. Want to give any overview of that other than what we've...
Yeah, there's nothing out of the ordinary. Again, there's a summary statement on page 2 that kind of summarizes the use. Just as a reminder, road use tax can only be used for very specific purposes. Streets and equipment that deals with streets or expenditures, and so if you go to page 4 of the street report, it shows you the bonds that we have outstanding on streets currently. We currently have 3 debt obligations, and if you go on to page 6, it shows all the equipment that relates to street usage that can be used, road use tax can be used for, and then the final page on page 8 shows you the receipts that we received in the last fiscal year for road use tax dollars. And again, road use tax is based on a per capita amount that's fixed by the state of Iowa, DOT. So. And it has increased pretty significantly with the increase in road use tax dollars. We've increased our revenue, what, 40 or 50,000, Pam, something like that, I believe, in the last year or so. So.
Okay. Any further clarifications of the road use tax? Entertain a motion then for Resolution 2017-18.
So moved.
Moved by Payne. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by John. Roll call vote, please, for Resolution 2017-18.
Allen.
Aye.
Harvey.
Yep.
Olson.
Aye.
Feldhacker.
Aye.
On a 4-0 roll call vote, then, Resolution 2017-18 passes for the fiscal year finance report. Send them a thank you and tell them appreciate the monies. Next is a request to create an easement or sell portion of 20th Street east of Avenue M. John, welcome.
Well, I was going to say, we were talking to Gary Tucker about possibly putting a garage or something on our property, and when we talked to some contractors, they said the first thing we need to do is, because of that street on north of us, we need to figure out what options we have available, and we need to talk to Gary about it to see if we could get an easement onto that property, or if you guys wanted to sell it, because you have entertained, came to us a couple of times to sell it. So that's basically what we were asking about, is what options do we have available?
Do you know at this size, kind of what size it'll be, or how much you,
We were looking at probably about a two-stall detached garage at this point. Currently, there's a shed in our backyard. We'll probably take that out and bring, place the garage just in front of that, so that way it'd be fully on our property. And then the driveway would have to come out north, like the street would be there, and then take it down to Avenue M. So that way, if the street ever got put in, the driveway would already be there, and it wouldn't cause any hindrance. But that's our current thought right now.
So it's not an attached garage, it's a detached?
A detached, because of the expense, we would have to completely redo our HVAC system, our air conditioning and heating, because our air conditioner's on the north side of that. If we put a garage on the north side, we'd have to put the air conditioner someplace else. So they said the easiest solution for us would be actually going with a detached garage in our backyard.
So the garage would be all on your property, John?
Correct. Currently, right now, that shed is actually half on Holloman's property.
Yeah.
And that was put in when Randy built the house. And Holloman said, yeah, go ahead and build part of it on ours. And it's been there ever since. But yeah, if we took that shed out, we would bring it forward so it'd be fully on ours.
then what would be required of the city to continue that road to the east?
To do what, Rick?
Would we have to continue that road then to the east?
Yeah, at some point in the future, if they chose to, as long as the garage is not on city property, it's probably not quite as big an issue. Jim, correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah, I mean, originally when we started talking about it, we were talking about, some kind of an easement that would merge into the road if we ever opened the road, and that doesn't seem like, too big a deal. It would extinguish when the road was built. Then I thought it was going to be attached and that we were going to have to build out into the...
Our original thought was actually to build it on, because then we could easily get access into the house. But after talking to some contractors, they said the cheapest solution would be having a detached one, so.
Well, and I had thought about, if the idea that if this street wasn't ever going to be opened and it wasn't useful, that we, maybe contact Boyer and you and go up about to Boyer's line there, vacate the whole road and sell you guys that, and you'd have your access by private drive down to that existing road, both of you would, and then we'd have a lot on the east end that somebody else could buy. But, if you're building on your own land and that's not covering anything, an easement is probably not that big of a deal. It is an interest in land. We have to go through all the procedures, and we're forbidden to give it away, but, we can...
It was let out for bid about in the 1990s by the city council to actually abandon that entire property. And at that time, you put it in as a bid, and Holloman's, Jensen's and us put a bid in to buy the entire street. At that time, the city, after the bid was let, the city decided we're not going to do it that way. So they stopped that whole process.
I guess whatever the council thinks that they want to do on it, that does kind of change it if you're going to put you got setbacks to deal with too.
So yeah, however you guys want to handle it is fine with us. It's just, we need to know what options we have available before we can proceed doing anything.
I want to sell it.
Pardon me, Monty?
I want to sell it.
Sell it?
We got way more land around here than we need. If somebody could put it to good use and pay taxes on it, sell it.
Interested in-
From our point of view, we would be acceptable to buy it. Cannot speak for Holloman's or Jensen's for that stuff.
Well, Boyer's key there, I think, because we can't cut off access for him.
Jensen has a sewer line coming down there too.
That's on the north side of that whole thing, on pretty much almost on Boyer, most of it's on Boyer's property, when I remember that being put in. But yeah, there is a sewer line in there. That's the only utility that I know of in there.
I'm good with that.
If you go to the Holman property, block east, it's already, the south half of the street, if you were to continue it, is already privately owned, so, in the next block east, so. Doesn't
Never
like
gonna
you'd be
happen.
able to continue it.
So you want to let
I
them,
move to direct city staff to do what they have to do to sell that property.
okay?
Second.
Motion by Monty, second by Travis.
Talking about selling the whole street to her.
I'm giving you discretion. I don't want to own that ground anymore.
Okay. Further thoughts or questions? Okay. All in favor of the motion to direct city staff to sell that property as need be, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. John, thank you very much. Sounds like we'll be in
Gary, if you
conversation.
want to sit down with Rick and us to talk about how to gain access to that property, just let us know.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Last agenda item for tonight's a consent agenda for liquor license transfer to the Corn Maze, which should be fun, and a liquor license to the community center. So, all in favor, is there a motion for the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Payne, seconded by John. All in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by John, second by Payne. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Hawarden City Council's adjourned. Thank you very much.